Hi guys, it's Dr. Heather with the Junkies Should Know Show, and I am in San Diego at the IDEA Conference, and I came across, I'm so excited, Kyle Stoll, and he is part of the Trigger Point company, and he's very knowledgeable, and you guys, I've been wanting to do a foam roller, a rolling out video, and I haven't had the chance to do it, and I'm like, well, this dude knows more about it than I do. And they have some amazing, amazing new products. And so I always get excited about new stuff that can work on fascia and roll out trigger points and break up adhesions. And it is life-changing for many people. And I don't say that lightly. And so I'm excited to get into the content. Let's talk about the company Trigger Point first. Where did it come from? Tell me a little bit about that.
Excellent question. So Trigger Point started about 18 years ago. So a guy named Cassidy Phillips, he started the company around 2000, 2001, and he did it really for himself. It's one of those typical stories. He was an athlete, he was in pain, he sought out professional help, but he was also trying to find a way that he could sort of take care of himself. So he was big into self-empowerment. And one of the first things he made was just the regular massage ball. So let's imagine if we just had one massage ball. So he made these out of cloth.
Okay.
He had a wooden core. He wrapped this fabric around it, and then he would hand sew the cloth around the outside.
Okay.
And he learned very quickly that just giving somebody a massage ball didn't really cut it. He had to teach people exactly how to use it. So he started to put education very early in the put techniques that would be similar to what a massage therapist would use. So when it's still alive today in our education, we have education on everything. We do teach people to roll, but we also teach people to do like pin and stretch techniques.
Yeah.
And do cross friction to really try to mobilize the tissue.
Yeah.
And after the massage ball was a success, he then moved on to make like more of the deep tissue line. So you can see this one right here was an original product, and we've changed the design a little bit.
Yes.
And then we put them together in this fancy kit that we call
So that kit has this guy and then the shorter one.
And then the shorter one, so the Blue World roller, and then
Okay.
2 of the massage balls.
Oh, that's awesome. So
Yes.
teams, okay.
So we
That's great.
We position this as sort of an advanced form of foam rolling,
Yeah.
deep tissue, incredibly effective.
Yeah, and I love that the education goes along with it, because as a chiropractor, I had patient after patient after patient coming in after rolling wrong. They were throwing out ribs, they're misaligning their spines. And so the key education is absolutely necessary. And you guys, I've been hanging out with these guys for a couple days, and they're doing an incredible job. So I know they have stuff online, and stuff comes with product when you get it. Lots of resources, which is really wonderful. And I've, in 22 years of practice, have been through many, many different types of foam rollers that I recommend for patients, and I am 100%. This is the one I always go to with patients. It's very manageable. There's so many great points to it. It's firmer than just a traditional foam roller. There's lots of benefits to it. And so somebody getting started on foam rolling, because that's the question I get asked, is how do I do it safely? And what areas do you typically suggest starting out with?
Excellent question. And on this roller, it's definitely one of our most popular. So
Okay.
we came out with this around 2009,
Yeah.
and it was an immediate hit. For a couple of different reasons: the design, the quality.
Okay.
Of course, I'm a little bit biased.
And
but this
just,
roller,
I want to make sure everybody's hearing this. Just speak up for everybody just a little bit.
absolutely.
Excellent.
The quality of the roller, and I was saying, of course, I'm a bit biased, but this roller will last you for forever. It's going to be a little bit more expensive than some of them, but again, it doesn't break down.
Yeah.
It will last for forever. Anyway, so where do you start?
We're live. Thanks. That's okay.
So when we talk about where do we start, now everybody can be a little bit different. We do teach like basic movement assessments to help guide your programming, but 9 times out of 10, you can start off by rolling your calves, rolling your quads, rolling your glutes, rolling your upper back. Those 4 areas are going to help people to move better and feel better.
And I love that we are staying away from the center of the very low back and the neck. That's correct, because that's my recommendation.
Absolutely, absolutely. I recently wrote an article actually on why you should not be foam rolling your low back, and it's not that it's it's not that it's always dangerous.
Right.
But with this type of roller, and with most people, just stay away from it.
Yes, yet there isn't the core stability. There's so many issues with it that you can go wrong. It's not worth the risk, right? Risk benefit ratio. So through the mid back, and Kyle, one of the things that I recommend in the mid back is that we don't do a lot of rolling, at least initially. That we pick a point, we stretch over it, and we find another point and stretch over it. Am I correct in my education process there?
You are correct.
Okay.
And I wonder if maybe you've read our education, or if maybe I've read yours. So especially with this, so starting with this being a little bit smaller and more specific, we actually don't recommend any rolling.
Okay.
We identify things into, we call them zones, and we do this just to create a little bit of focus. It's not a scientific thing with the zone. But what we would teach is you position the massage balls, and we want to try to mobilize or stretch. We teach to first do it into rotation.
Okay.
And then we move the arms to get a little bit of extension.
A little extension and flexion. I like that, because a lot of people don't know about just doing a little side-to-side motion. Everyone's like, ah!
Yeah.
So this is a great place to start. And can I show you the coolest thing? Oh, I have a bigger spine. That pulls
Push it in a little bit, push it in and twist it.
Okay, show me. It's the coolest thing. There we go. It's the twist. I didn't get the twist.
It is.
My camera person is laughing. I love it. So you can broaden the scope here a little bit. You can't do that with traditionally taped together tennis balls and stuff. So this thing is it's my new favorite.
Right.
I'll tell you that much. So that's fantastic. And let's talk about the one thing that we haven't touched on before we wrap up is why do people really want to do this? Like, what's the point? I mean, I spoke loosely to it at the beginning, but explain what you tell people when you're like, you need to be doing this.
Well, the first thing I do is look at movement.
Okay.
Now, I know that we look at the statistics, and we know that a large percentage of people are dealing with pain and other sorts of ailments. But I try to just take it back to looking at movement patterns. And ideally, we should be doing prevention. We should be taking preventative measures and looking at a movement pattern, and that's going to help guide our programming. Let's keep yourself moving well. One of the things we see with our research, we have published about 10 papers the past year on this, is pain. We know that foam rolling immediately reduces the perception of pain.
Yeah.
I don't encourage people to chase pain. Again, let's look at movement.
Excellent point. Yeah.
But if, as we're rolling, if we can reduce some of that pain, albeit temporary, we can establish, again, better movement patterns. That's going to have a longer lasting positive impact. So
I love that. And from a chiropractic standpoint, one of the things that I recommended is as a chiropractor, we are looking at degrees of motion loss or gain through joint range of motion, and and patients can't perceive that they're losing that. It's years and years before you're like, wait, my neck doesn't move like it used to, or my spine doesn't move like it used to. And foam rolling is beautiful at unlocking little tiny adhesions that form from micro and macro traumas, and also just pushing the joint into that passive range of motion, because we don't always take our joints through all those really detailed ranges of motions, especially segmentally through the spine. And so foam rolling can do that for you. And so, like you said, it's a massage therapist, but in so many ways, it's so much more. And so I recommend it for everyone, but I recommend that you use the resources to learn how to do it correctly. Yes.
Yes, and
Okay.
on that part, that was an excellent explanation of foam rolling too.
Thank
As you
you.
were saying that, I thought I should have said that. I should have said that.
Thank you. I've explained it about 20,000 times. I just didn't know if I was as accurate. I'm glad that you are
perfect.
validating my explanation.
All of our stuff comes with education. So no matter what it is you buy, there's videos. Of course, we have about 200 videos on YouTube.
Oh, that's
but
awesome.
even on our website, you can go to our web portal. You can get the programming, get the education, and that's really key.
Yeah.
Do it correctly to be safe and to get the most bang for your buck. Because if
Yeah.
you do it consistently,
Yeah.
follow the education, and I mean it's going to work.
Yeah, and I think consistently is key. There is
Absolutely.
nobody who can't do it while they're watching TV. There's no reason not to be down on the floor and doing some rolling, pick a different segment of your body each time. And you brought up a great point, and that is there are thousands of foam rolling videos on YouTube, but why not go to somebody who really, really knows what they're talking about, and it's not just some person in their living room who just bought one and is showing you how to do it. Go to the Trigger Point YouTube videos or a reputable company that's and watch their videos, because I would have much more trust in that than, you know, some lay person showing you how to foam roll, because there's lots of bad habits that can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing on that too is all of our stuff is evidence-based. I
Excellent.
consider us a research company. I am a researcher, have a doctoral degree in health sciences. So one of the things whenever I took over this role that I wanted to do is make sure that what we're teaching people
Yeah.
does actually work.
Okay,
And it
that's
works.
great.
It's published. It's the active range of motion. We're mobilizing the
Yeah.
tissue. So
Yeah.
it does really work.
I love that. I love it. I love it. And you've covered exactly what I hoped to cover, and I just hadn't got to. And so I'm so glad we've got products here. DuraPoint has some wonderful new products. They've been super this weekend. I've been very impressed with their product line and how they're explaining things and how they're teaching people to do stuff. So do check them out. But we wanted to just make sure you knew the basics of foam rolling, and possibly in a future video we'll get together and we'll do some rolling out and kind of show it in demo. But for now, that's it. My good friend Kyle was so kind to help out today.
Thank you.
So guys, make sure you share the show, because there's lots of people out there who should be doing foam rolling, and I'm sure you have a sister or an aunt or an uncle or somebody who could be benefiting from this. So do share the show around, and we'll see you next time. Okay, goodbye.